If you have an older NAS and you are trying to map drives, such as I have mapped here with the QNAS S drive, P drive, for example, and you are getting an error message, basically the Windows cannot access it, it may has to do with the SMB 1.0. So for example, I have a NAS. If I go to the network section here, it's called the DNAS. And it is shown here. So the first thing you should check is your network section, and if the network discovery is turned on your Windows machine, it should shows up here. And I can see it is online. I can go to properties, I can see the web address, I can in fact access the web interface right here. So I know the network access is enabled and it is properly set up with the correct LAN configuration and device name and workgroup. So everything looks okay. I can even access the web interface right here. However, when I try to navigate to this DNAS by entering DNAS like this, gonna give me an error message right here. Network error, Windows cannot access //DNAS, check the spelling, blah blah blah, and then here's the particular error code, and there's no point hitting diagnose because this is not gonna fix the problem for you. And the reason why you are getting this error message, even though you do have access to the NAS, as you can see I have access to the web interface for the NAS, is because the SMB, the SMB 1.0, which is an older and insecure file sharing protocol that has significant security vulnerabilities, is disabled by default in modern Windows systems. So that's why you cannot access it. So most likely that's the problem. Now, how can you fix this problem? The first thing you can do is that download the utility if they have a utility, and download it from their organization, in this case D-Link. And I'm going to run the utility and see if that's going to resolve the problem, because sometimes maybe it does have the ability to run SMB higher versions, but it's not by default. But if you run the utility, it might work. But I have the NAS showing up on the utility, and if I select the NAS and if I try to connect this NAS to whatever the number unit I want to connect to, and I hit connect, it's gonna give me an error message again, the failed to map drive. So first thing we do before updating any Windows features, you just gonna try all other options. So everything failed. So what can you do? Does this mean that you're never gonna have access to this NAS? No. What you can do is you may want to either temporarily enable SMB 1.0 or even permanently enable SMB 1.0, knowing the security vulnerabilities. So how do you go about enabling it? I'm going to go to the start menu and hit run. And then I'm going to enter optional features.exe, optional features.exe right here, and click OK. And it will open up the Windows features. Another way to access this is to go to the start menu, click settings, go to system, and then in here go to optional features and select the more Windows features option, and it will open the same window. So either way, that's how you access this option. In here, if you go down and you'll see SMB 1.0 CIFS file sharing support, you need to enable this, because if you have this thing disabled and your older NAS is using 1.0, it's not going to work. So we're going to enable that, and we're going to click OK. And it's going to enable the feature, and you will have to reboot your computer. So once you have reboot the computer, you should be able to access your NAS drive, and you should be able to map those older folders if you wish to do so. And I'm back after the reboot. The only thing you need to do now is to go back in here and put your NAS name with the /, two of them, And you can already see the DNAS actually shows up here as well. And we're going to press enter. And I have access to my DNAS. So that's how you can get access to your older network attached storage devices. Again, SMB 1.0 is not secure, but if you just need access temporarily, or you just don't have any other NAS and this is your primary NAS, or you have data that you need to access, and this is how you can enable it. Basically, you can go to the start menu, type run, and then you're gonna do optional features.exe, click OK, and you're gonna make sure that the SMB 1.0 is enabled. I would enable everything underneath it in here, and then click OK. Restart your device and then try to access it, and you should be able to access your older NAS. And you should be also able to map any of these volumes. For example, volume 1, you can map it to a drive. Like for example, I can either map the entire volume by mapping this to a network drive, or I can map each and individual items here. You may be able to map it to your computer. Now you do have access to the NAS. So that's everything for today. Please make sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comments below and I will respond to all of you. And until next time, thank you so much and have a nice day.